people? Welcome to the channel. What is going on with England? I mean, seriously. When the Euro started, I picked England to be one of the best teams at the tournament. Um, I thought they had some serious depth. I'm not too sure about the team he took all the way to Germany, but in spite of that, I still thought that England had some serious quality, especially in the forward lines. But it's been 3 games now, and they play like they've never played with each other before. I I'm really struggling to understand. I mean, not necessarily because Gareth Southgate is a very pragmatic coach. Um, he's done well in previous tournaments, but I don't know why I thought this time would be different. Um, he's stuck with the same team that started, 2 games on the bounce, 3 games on the bounce, and it's now worked. Trent in midfield in the first couple of games was not a good move. I mean, I still don't understand why you have two midfielders in Mano and Wharton, and you still choose to play a right back in midfield, and it doesn't work. Now, don't get me wrong. When I saw the starting lineup today, and I saw Galadog in midfield, I mean, to an extent, I can understand why, only because he's very good at pressing. He can press, he can recover the ball, he can tackle, and he's one of those guys for me who happens to be a little bit limited in terms of just technical ability. So playing him in that first phase, as people will call it, I don't really think that was helping at all. I mean, it just looked disjointed, and that's no surprise. Like, you take him off in the second half of the game, you bring Kobe Mano on, and the team plays slightly better. There have been a few players that have really disappointed me in this tournament, and I'm not even gonna lie. They have they've not stepped up. Phil Foden has not stepped up. Saka has not stepped up. Harry Kane has not stepped up. Like, that is Jude. I mean, Jude. This is the same Jude that was winning, you know, man of the match games in Spain. Someone who is being touted to be a future Ballon d'Or winner, and these performances have not been it. They've been really poor. Um, when I've looked at that England team, I think a few people have impressed me. I mean, even a few sounds like a lot, which really is not the case. Gay has been one of those who has shown a level of maturity. He's looked really steady in the defense. Um, Rice today was intercepting the game. He was winning the balls back, and he had an okay game. But when you look further forward, it's just been very poor. So my question would be, why not try something else, right? So you have your um, Ezes, you have Anthony Gordon, and when we saw his performances on the left wing for Newcastle, and during the season that just went by, he had a very good season. He can create a chance. He can take people on. So I'm just not understanding why um, he's not getting minutes. Clearly, it's looking like Phil Foden on the left is really not playing to his strength. So why not try somebody else? Why not give someone else a chance to show that they have something else? It's been bad. Like last night, just stepping away from England for a quick sec. I was watching the Brazil game, and that game was just as bad. It was. You look at the players that have been gassed up to be Ballon d'Or contenders. You look at your Vinny Juniors. Now you're looking at Jude Bellingham, and they've really not showed up for their country. So for me, um, it's just not been a good watch. I felt the Euros were going to be very entertaining, and this, especially with the English team, I like a lot of the players on there. The team, I mean, like people have said, leaving the likes of Sterling at home, your experienced heads, people ask for experience, right? People say teams need experienced players, they need guys who have been there and done it. And then you don't see these guys in the team. Rashford is not in the team. Grealish is not in the team. Sterling is not in the team. I mean, these are three players that would have brought that sense of like experience and to an extent some quality to this team, and they're not there. So this whole Euros is not it's not really lived up to it for me. If anything, the the teams that most people would consider underdogs have had better games. I've seen Turkey have better games. Um, I've seen Austria have better performances, and it's Spain have been pretty steady Eddie, and it's just yeah, it's been really dead. Um, so hopefully, in the next game, I don't know, he does something different because it's been very boring to watch. Like trying to watch that game was so bad. I had to try to watch a a movie. That's how much of a snooze fest that game was. Why I don't know, but you have too much quality in this team to be doing this. This is absolutely not great. So today's game, if I had to build that lineup, if I had to build that lineup, I probably would have went with Pickford and goal. Um, the left back options are just not. Why would you? I'm sure England has a few decent options, left-footed left backs that could have went to this tournament. Trippier is not. It's not one of those guys who is going to really beat a man and put it across. And that's the thing. Like a lot of the games look like everything is coming inside. When you like Trippier, for example, if he has a chance to whip in the ball, he has to cut back in before he crosses the ball. If you had someone who was left footed, a little bit of space, just whip that ball in. Me personally, I would have played Trent at right back. I know defensively, he is not the best fullback going, the opposite way. But his quality, I think, especially with how much quality the English team needs right now, his quality would definitely would have came in handy when it comes to attacking. So I would have played Trent right back. I would have played um, Gay Stones in midfield. Um, I guess I would have just played Trippier to be honest. In the midfield, what I personally would have done was I would have played Rice and Jude close to each other because You look at Jude's performances so far. He's only scored one goal, and he's really not been looking that good. Other times I feel like he's isolated from the play. And is he really one of those guys you want to have as your double six? Probably not. But at least I can be able to fit in more attacking players into that team. So um I can put Gordon on the left, I can keep Saka on the right, and then I'll play Phil Foden in the 10. And then just play Kane. At least you have pace on the wings, you still have the creativity from Foden, and you still have a little bit of creativity from Jude. And then just see how that serves you because right now these games have been a snooze fest. Um, but they have qualified, they've made it through. So let's see what else they have coming up. The surprising score line today from the Netherlands game was actually shocking for me. I mean, Austria taking that game was actually insane. But that's the thing. It's those teams that have been actually having better tournaments right now. I was watching the France game as well, and that was another dead game. Like the teams I really would have put money on to really show up have not been it. I mean, it took the penalty from Mbappe for France to score a goal at this tournament. That's how bad it's been. And you look at their bench, you look at their options, their midfield, their attack, and this is what they're serving. Nah, something's got to change. But who knows? Maybe it gets more interesting in the next round when the big teams have to play the big teams. And yeah, this I don't know. The team that has been pretty quietly doing their job for me has been Spain. They have a nice balance. The scoring goals, they have a solid midfield of Pedri, Rodri, and who's the third person in their midfield? Who's Spain's third midfield option? I can't ever remember. But they've just been so good. That midfield has been balanced. Cucurella's been having a great tournament so far. And, I enjoy seeing him have good games because he's one of those guys that has the right aggression. Yes, sometimes when he tries to go in and nick the ball, he could be going past easily, but he has the grit, the he has the passion to defend, and he's been quietly one of the best players at this tournament for me. Um, so I think Spain do have a really good opportunity to stake a claim here. It's just man, I think when was the last Euros? Was it 2012? That Euros was excited, man. That was a tournament. Even the one Italy won not too long ago, even that was still pretty good. But this one, it's almost like everyone came back from club football and everything was just it. That's it. No one can perform. No one is taking responsibility. No one's stepping up. It's just, boy. I mean, to have to watch a movie when a game is playing is kind of crazy. That's how bad that game was. It just wasn't enjoyable. It was not enjoyable. But hopefully, England has something else in store um, for us. And I was supposed to watch the Argentina game, but I'll probably just rewatch that game. I'll have a reaction on it. Um, and today, the news came on about Chelsea signing Mark Gui. I'm not sure how you pronounce his last name, but for 6 million euros, when we talk about signing young players with potential and young players with a high ceiling and potentially having to develop properly, and whatever you want to do later in the future. This is how you move. You don't pay 19 mil for Kellerman. You don't bid 40 mil for Duran. None of that. You go in. He has potential. You think he has potential. Okay. You pay your money, 6 mil. You keep it. You keep it moving because there's not really a lot of downside to paying 6 mil. I mean, it's not my money, so I can't say nothing. But for that price and the potential this guy could have, again, we keep saying potential because unfortunately for us, this is what we have to deal with. Potential FC, young players. But I can't even knock them because some of these guys are the players that, you don't get them now. And again, I'm not saying you have to get everyone, but it's always some of these guys who you just walk away from the deals. 2, 3 years later, you're going to pay 50 mil for them when you could have them for 5, when you could have them for free. So, is it a good deal? Sure. Like, I'm gonna have to watch some compilations of this guy to actually see how he moves. But listen, we need some. Like I said, we need some serious quality for this first team, and yeah, we're not getting that anytime soon. Um, there's not really been any big rumors today of like any deals happening. Um, so we'll see what tomorrow has. Tomorrow I'm going to be watching the Ukraine game because I really want to see what they have going on. Um, but also I've noticed in this tournament, like the big strikers have not been on it. Your Lewandowski's, the guys who came in with the big expectations, your Seskos, your Dovbiks, Dovbik that everybody's trying to buy. He had a great season at Girona. Everyone really wants their club to get this guy, and he's been disappointed at the Euros. Now, could it be because he plays for Ukraine and he might not really get a lot of the service he did? Sure, but if if you're, I mean, his release clause is relatively cheap, so you could probably take a punt on that. But I'm just saying, sometimes the hype ain't always it. This guy performs in La Liga, he might come to the Premier League and he's not it. So once upon a time, we had Alvaro Morata come from Real Madrid. Started off really well, and he just faded away. All he could do was score headers. So take that with a pinch of salt. Not a lot of people were watching, you know, Girona last year. Maybe some people did because they were having like a fairy tale season, so people would tune in. It's like when Leicester won the league. When an underdog team is performing well and people get wind, people will pay attention to some of these games. So it's possible that some people did pay attention, but he's not been looking sharp at all. Sesko, my God, all these big teams wanted to sign Sesko. Arsenal, Chelsea, um, was it Man United? I'm not sure. Looking like a scrub out there, you know, just not looking mobile at all. So, you take with that what comes with that. But to cap this all off, the Euros have not been great. One of my favorite teams I was hoping on, England, have been disappointing. Yeah, this it's not even much to really say about that. But um, like, subscribe to the channel, share the video. Um, I will try to record as often as I can. So, it takes a while to get my edits, everything out, but we're going to just I'm going to get more content out. So you guys stay tuned. Um, Thanks again. This is Let's Talk Ball. I'll see you guys again soon. Peace.